welcome everyone to post-race of the Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway, race 13 of the 2024 Cup season. I'm Stephen Stumpf, he's Trenton Worsham, and we are here after a very eventful 293 laps and 400 miles at Darlington, the track too tough to tame. Now, in the end, it was Brad Keselowski that scored the victory, his second at Darlington, his first as an driver at RFK, his 36th of his career, and his very first in the next-gen car. He broke a 110 race drought, and it was also the first win for Ford, this entire season between all three series. What a drought it was for them. Just a lot of monumental occasions today. Brad obviously was very excited. Trenton, you got to talk to him. What did he have to say after the race?
He was obviously very happy. Chris Buescher has been the car for RFK. He's been carrying the torch. He's had all the wins. Brad's been there. But he's been getting outshined by his teammate a little bit in the win department. And so he was obviously very happy. He was asked about, comparing him as a driver. Obviously, as an owner, he was happy for Chris Buescher. But as a driver, he wanted it. And so he said, he's not done. He's still hungry. He wants to learn. His win total that he has is not satisfactory. He wants to get more. So going forward, we should see a lot more of Brad Keselowski and the strength of this team. Like last week we saw the closest finish in NASCAR history, and only fitting that the week later they just get it right there, at the end with under 10 laps, So, yeah, Brad's happy, the whole team's happy. It seems like the whole garage is happy for him. I saw a couple of drivers and teams leaving some certain beverages for him, to congratulate him after the race. So, good day for Brad. He's happy, and he has two little girls up there with him too, which was nice.
Yeah, indeed. Since Brad joined RFK in 2022, it's pretty incredible to see how the team has built up from where it used to be to where it is now. They're contender week in and week out, and I'd argue they might be one of the best Ford teams this entire year. But, if I told you that Brad didn't win, it wouldn't tell you the story of how we got there. And it looked like for much of the day it was going to be Tyler Reddick in victory lane. He started on the pole. He led 174 of the 293 laps, but it was a final restart with about 30 to go, where Brad was strong enough to keep with him on the inside, and as they kind of, out of turn 4, they kind of, stalled their momentum, and Chris Buescher running in third, went 3 wide, and, just passed the ball one turn, and it went on sailing by. It looked like Buescher was going to win. It would have been his first at Darlington, the 6th of his Cup career, but Reddick, being as fast as he was all day, no one, really was able to, keep up like he could. He started running him down, but it was also, clean air. And with 10 to go, Reddick was right there in turns 3 and 4. He tried dive bombing into the inside, but the move didn't work. Both he and Buescher went in the outside wall. Both of them had flat tires. They finished, 30th and 32nd, and it was Brad Keselowski that was able to sail right by both and score the win. Now, Buescher was obviously not happy with Reddick at all for what happened. We were, getting on pit road ready to, see what was going to happen, post-race, and Buescher got out, and he immediately just sprinted down to Reddick, went straight to confronting him, very angry. You had to talk with him, Trenton, after. What did Chris have to say?
Well, another thing, too, is it looked like it was going to be a Reddick win and a Buescher in second place. Every race, I go over, RFK second. People like doing 20 feet at the end. But like you said, they got together, and Brad stole the win away, and they took each other out. Chris was not happy. I asked him afterwards if he needs to change the way he drives, because it's his second race also the road where he's been forward, racing for the win, racing for the lead. And he said, I might have to. And on the contrary, Brad said in the post-conference, as we go by, the winning callers are the very beautiful fast haul casual callers leading for Brad Keselowski race winner. But so on the contrary, Brad said about Chris needs to be Chris. He said, unfortunately, he has to beat him, and maybe he could buy settle and races like Chris racing, but maybe as we've heard today from the alumni drivers don't forget. So maybe he might have a special spot for a couple drivers, going forward.
Yeah, and with his current position in the points, you can definitely understand why Chris Buescher was frustrated. He doesn't have a win yet, and he's now only 15 points above the playoff cut line with half the regular season done. And when he went over to confront Reddick, that was a large part of what he said, that he doesn't have that winning sticker on his door, and that really impacted that in the points. It just killed them, finishing 30th. Reddick obviously was very apologetic, even when Chris confronted him, and he took full responsibility for it, post-race. He said that he was too aggressive with the move. He realized halfway through it wasn't going to work. He tried to back out, but with, Darlington, the tires, the slickness of the track, he just wasn't able to load up. They both went in the wall, and that was that. And Reddick, definitely felt awful for the fact that Buescher got involved. He said that he would have won the race had he not made that move. And Reddick also, drove the point home that it would have been one thing if he tried that move and cut his own tire and had to pit, and then Buescher continued. But since both of them were taken out, that's definitely where he, felt bad. But, still, both of them were among the best cars of the day. Reddick, again, led almost 2/3 of the race, but he'll go home looking for his first win at Darlington. Now, behind them, Brad got by, and then it was Ty Gibbs who finished second. He was running top 5 all day. It was the best finish of his Cup career. He's still searching for his first win. But behind him, it was Josh Berry in third, scoring his first top 10 and top 5 at Stumpf Racing. Now, Trent, you also got to catch up with Josh post-race. What did you have to say?
Well, overall, it was a great day for the Fords. We spoke Justin Healy there first, the top 10 for Rickler Racing. That's not a super speedway, but Chase Briscoe actually told me, as I talked to him too, he had a top 10 as well, that he thought Josh Berry had the best car of the day, but he just couldn't move forward. But Josh said, I don't know if that's the best, but it was certainly good. So, with all the noise surrounding SHR and rumors, uncertainties, that's been the topic of this week going in. It was nice for them to have get some momentum, and to show that they're putting their heads down, they're going to work. Both of them, basically said that post race as well, that they're just prepping to race. And Chase Briscoe told me also, with All-Star Racing working like a long week, if you will, that he's definitely wanting to chase some more points. I think that's excited in Charlotte in a couple of weeks. So, overall, it was a great day for Ford. The Blue Ovals finally got to victory lane. And not just the top 10, the top 15, there's a slew of them, but 2 SHR cars in the top 10. Great day for them, top 5 for Berry. And going forward, we'll just see, if Ford can move forward with this momentum, but it looks like RFK and SHR are the 2 stronger Ford teams at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Berry third, Briscoe fifth. For SHR to get a double top 5 here at Darlington, one of the, sport's toughest tracks. What a shot in the arm to that team, especially given all the uncertainties and rumors surrounding its future. As you said, Justin Haley finished 9th. What a great run for him. And I also want to talk about the throwback paint schemes. This is now the 10th year of doing them. They started in 2015, and we still have some absolute bangers. In my opinion, I think Kyle Larson, the Terry Labonte 90s Kellogg's throwback was the best car in the field today. Unfortunately, he ended up wrecked, even though he ran very well. But, they went, Terry himself dressed up in his old fire suit. They were taking photos out with Jeff Gordon on the pit road. It was quite a sight.
It was definitely one of the more, when you think about Throwback Weekend, it was that. It was more that, you had the old Jimmy Johnson scheme, you had an old Dale Earnhardt scheme, you had, several other throwbacks, to different drivers, different disciplines. But the Terry Labonte scheme, I told you, like on pit road, if you look at the car, it doesn't look like the 5 is still forward. It kind of looks like it's still centered. So, class of the field, that's what Throwback Weekend is about. The perfect execution for that one.
Yes, indeed. I think Hendrick stole the show in that regard. Chase Elliott went back to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2014 National Guard car. Byron threw back to Jeff Gordon's 2009 DuPont Firestorm car. And Alex Bowman brought out an old classic Jimmy Johnson's 2002 to 2005 Lowe's car. But also another great thing about this weekend was that we had the first ever alumni bullpen. After we had the 75 greatest driver ceremony, we had even more old familiar faces come by. All of them, were just enjoying it. We talked to Rick Mass, Terry was there. I saw Rusty Wallace, Mike Wallace too. Greg Biffle, Kenny Wallace,
Mike Skinner.
People
on Twitter loving Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner, Ron Hornaday, Rick Mass, you name it. Just
Ray Evernham's out there.
Ray Evernham too. It was just so great to see so many familiar faces of the past. Just out here, just kind of celebrating NASCAR today. And I think that was, definitely absolutely one of the highlights.
Stephen, we've been hearing it. Denny's brought it up, some drivers brought it up, fans brought it up. Has this run its course? Is this getting old? But with the alumni thing and some of the guys, Kenny Wallace and Mike Skinner, they've all talked about the past NASCAR relationship versus the drivers. And they're finally feeling like that they're recognizing the drivers, are the stars of the sport. And this being the first alumni thing, this has been a celebration of the history of the sport, a historic facility, historic drivers and races. Before last week it was Craven and Kurt Busch here doing that, and so this alumni thing, it could be the new face of the Throwback Weekend, not just old paint schemes, not just bringing back this is so like we've seen that before. But if they keep doing this, making it bigger on that kind of thing and celebrating sport as a whole, this could be like the celebration of NASCAR and its history, more than just a few paint schemes from previous decades.
Yes, indeed. There are now 76 years of NASCAR racing, 77 if you count the year before the Cup Series began racing. There's so much history of the sport. It's great to see all of it come together for this weekend. And next weekend, we're going to be treated to a throwback of sorts too, as we are headed to North Wilkesboro for the second All-Star race since its return to the schedule. It's going to be great. There's even going to be, an option tire, different tires to, see if that can help, what's ailed the short tracks at the moment. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen there. But that is all from Darlington today. I'm Steven Stumpf. He's Trenton Worsham. And that's all, and we will see you next week.
This is Austin Dillon, driver of the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.